In seismic retrofit work, we don't look at Richter scales. In other words, we're not trying to resist a 7.5 or 7.3. We don't design around that. What we design around is a ground acceleration. So we have an anticipated ground acceleration here in the San Francisco Bay Area of 0.186 Gs. And that's what we need to design against, and I'm going to show you how that's done. So what we have here is the ground acceleration is pushing at the base of the house just like this. So what's happening is the ground is moving this way, and inertia is causing this house to lean, and it's going to want to try to slide off the foundation right here. So in a seismic retrofit, we're trying to prevent that from happening. So I want you to notice how this movement right here, underneath the house, is identical, at least what happens here is identical to a force that is pushing on the house right here. So what we do is we figure out the weight of the house, and we have the ground acceleration underneath the house, and when we multiply those two together, we end up with pounds of force. So we look at, we translate that ground acceleration into pounds of force that are pushing against the house. So all the hardware and plywood and whatever it is that we happen to use in a seismic retrofit is designed to resist a certain number of pounds of force. So we have pounds of force that are pushing against the house, and then we have pounds of resistance provided by the retrofit hardware. Let me show you how all of this would work by using an example. So let's assume the plywood we're putting in can resist 1,000 pounds of earthquake force for each linear foot. And the bolts resist 2,000 pounds of earthquake force. And the shear transfer ties resist 500 pounds of earthquake force. Now realize that these are hypothetical. They're just for educational purposes only. Real shear transfer ties, real bolts, real plywood does not resist this amount of force. So just keep that in mind. Now if we have 10,000 pounds of earthquake force going in this direction, we're going to need 10 linear feet of plywood, which equals 10,000 pounds of resistance. We're going to need 20 shear transfer ties, which equals 10,000 pounds of resistance. We're also going to need 5 bolts, which can equal 10,000 pounds of resistance. So you can see, we just want to make sure that the bolts, the plywood, the shear transfer ties can resist the amount of force that is going to be trying to push the house off the foundation. Now, in the same way, when earthquake forces come in this direction, we also need 5 bolts, 20 shear transfer ties, and 10 feet of plywood in order for our retrofit to work as it should.